Friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are going to look at the opening for black. Okay, so let's look at the next variation of the line which we did yesterday. So after the moves bc4, bc5, this is called Galko piano, and we are already into the Greco's gambit or Greco's attack, which starts with the move d4. Yesterday we discussed that black starts with the move queen e7 here. It's also possible to play bb6 first and then do queen e7, but this move order stops d4 directly. So we should do this queen e7 move first. White plays castle, which is the normal move. Last lesson I told you that it's now possible to play d4 because after ed cd queen e4 then re1 wins for white. So now black can do two things. He can play d6 or nf6, and the third thing which he can do is bb6. In the last class I told you three moves are there which almost lead to the same position. In this game black played bb6. Well, we can say that black is moving the same piece again, but anyway white is going to play d4 and next move will be bb6. I told you that is the idea of this opening. Black tries to overprotect the pawn and he doesn't want to take ed4. That is why this line is called the strong point defense. e5 is the point which black is trying to secure. So white plays d4, knight f6. Also possible is d6. We can use any move order. So after de here, knight e5, queen e5, and we see that white doesn't have f4 because the bishop is pinning the pawn on f2. Again knight d2 can be played, which will be like the yesterday's game, but the position is not same. So white can play nd2 and the position is still slightly favorable for black perhaps. After nd2, d6, knight f3, black can go queen h5. Okay, the position is around level. Also nd2 castle is possible. Then again nf3, queen h5, that is also possible. So let's go back to the position. There is one suggestion for beginners. Those who are new to the game, I think they should try the move order d6, because what will happen after d6, many white players will tend to play h3 to stop bg4. So immediately we will ensure that the resulting position which comes in the game, we will reach that. Okay, so that's why you can do the move order d6 first. In this game black played nf6 first. Now we can see white is not going to play h3. Okay, white can play bg5. Okay, after bg5 there is not much to worry because black will now play d6 and then do h6, and if the bishop moves back maybe g5. Okay, but that g5 is very effective if white has played h3. Otherwise black can just develop by bg4. Okay, in the game white played d5. Okay, this move looks very attractive. The knight is attacked, the knight's move will be wasted, pawn has improved its position. Okay, but as I told you yesterday, this pawn move d5 is good only in the near term, that is temporarily it is very good, but for the long term we see that the pawns have got blocked on the white squares, and this bishop also belongs to the white square which is behind the pawn, so the bishop is becoming bad here. The knight which looks bad, the knight goes to b8. Okay, the knight looks bad on b8, but there is a plan. Black can do d6, then knight d7 and knight c5, or knight f8 and knight g6. So overall the position has not favored white that much. Let's count the development and see. 1, 2 and 3 developments versus 1, 2 and 3, out of which this bishop has become bad and also the e4 pawn is attacked. So at this point white has to do something about the e4 pawn. Of course we can say that white's position is okay, it is not a losing position as such. White can play nd2, many will play bg5, but I told you to bg5 again to h6 we have to see where to play the bishop. One good idea could be playing queen to e2 and then bishop e3. That looks to be a very sensible plan. Queen e2, d6, be3, setting a small trap. If knight e4 then bb6 and e4 is lost. But I think still black is fine after bg4. I prefer this position slightly for black because after nd2 now black has this nd7 idea, knight f8, g6, and knight can go to h4. So there is some problem on f3, although we cannot say white is much worse, maybe slightly worse because of this bishop. Okay, this could be one way of playing. Let's go back to the game. White played bd3 here. Okay, which is of course waste of a move. Queen e2 would have at least brought the queen ahead. Now the same piece is brought back and it is only defending. So the piece which is only defending, we term it as a passive piece. So it's not good to have passive pieces. So black plays d6, most natural move. He intends bg4, okay, then nd7 and f8. Now white played the bad move h3. White got scared that bg4 is a pin and it's a dangerous one, but actually it's not that dangerous. Still there was nd2 and queen can be moved away to b3, c2 or e2. Okay. Oh, this is the position black to play. Let's try to find the plan for black. First let us try to evaluate the position. If we look at the position, we will first start always by counting the development. So white has 1, 2 and 3 developed pieces. Black also has 3 developed pieces. Both bishops are open. Okay. The only difference is the castled position. Okay. Black has not castled and white has castled. So what we say generally, the king is safe when it has castled. But here what has happened? First factor, the center is closed. So whenever center is closed, so we generate play on the side of the board, that is called flank attack. Okay. So now flank attack is possible by getting this g pawn to g5 and g4 and opening the g file for black and the h file for white. So this is going to be very favorable. If black had already castled, then he would have not gone for this idea. So black plays the good move h6. Okay, h6 idea g5. See, looks like same move, h3 by white, h6 for black, but h3 mistake and h6 good move. Because now black has a simple plan, he wants g5, g4. Okay, white played queen e2. First when I saw the game, I thought white is playing queen e2 in order to get be3 quickly, which should be the right idea actually. Black goes g5. Now white realizes g4 is dangerous. After g4, hg, bg4, there will be rook g8 and bishop h3. So attack will really become strong. If white trades bishop e3 to b6, then knight h5 and knight f4 will be very strong. So we can imagine some position like this. I am not playing the exact moves, but if the bishops are not there, then after knight h5, this knight will go to f4 and there will be dangerous attack on the g2 square. Okay. White played a very strange move here. White played knight h2. We know the logic already. Black is trying to play g4, so white is trying to bring more attacks to the square. So queen is one, pawn on h3 is another, and knight on h2 is also controlling g4. So what has happened here, basically white has started defending very early, and generally what happens, if we try to play the moves on that side where the opponent wants to open and we want to close the position, and we try to close the position by playing moves on that side, the opponent often gets a combination over there. Okay. So here black spots a nice idea. He sees that the g4 move is stopped, but he calculates further and finds a simple tactical trick. g4, if knight into g4, then knight g4 hg and the queen can come to h4. Okay, the black's attack will become strong. So h takes g4. Now it looks like white has just given the pawn, but black had seen the move rook g8 here. Simple move, rook occupies the open file, attacks the pawn on g4, and we see that f3 is not possible because of the bishop pinning the f2 pawn right now, and there is no good way to defend the pawn on g4. White played a very bad move here. Okay, he played bishop into h6. So in these kind of positions, it's very dangerous to take the pawn. White should have played b3. I think this was the last chance. Try to reduce the damage. Okay, so after bishop e3, knight g4. If knight takes g4, then bg4. Knight g4 is blunder. And now if the queen moves away, then bf3 wins. Okay, and if f3 is played, then bh3 is very strong. So this position is almost winning for black. It is not compelled to play in g4, but this position already we can see is still quite bad. Black has qh4. Okay, let's go to the game. Bishop to h6. Okay, he took the pawn. Okay, and actually gave black one more open file, which is to black's advantage. Okay, now comes knight into g4. Now if knight takes g4, then bishop takes g4. F pawn cannot move because of the b6 bishop. So queen d2 or queen c2, wherever the queen goes, bf3, very strong. And now after g3, which is forced, I hope you must have spotted, rook g3 check, because pawn is pinned, pawn cannot take. King has to go to h2 and then queen h4 mates. So rg3, kh2, queen h4 is checkmate. Okay, let's go to the game. Played knight into h2, the most forced move. White plays king h2, which is forced. He has to take the piece. Okay, and now then comes queen h4 check. See, here many things are possible. This is very simple and forced. King g1, h3. Now f3 is not possible. f3 makes the queen overloaded piece. So after bishop into e3, queen e3, qg2 checkmates. So it's forced to play g3. And now after g3, black goes rook h8. So what happens here? Now h2 and h1 both are weak. Okay, if the pawn is moved, it's forced to play f3. So after f3, now we see that queen h2 is not met because of this queen. Again the queen has become overloaded. So bishop e3 check. Queen takes, then queen h2 or queen g3, both are met. So rook f2 forced. And now black wins by qh1 checkmate. Okay, so there is no need to grab this rook. Black is able to checkmate instantly. Also queen g3, kf1, rook h1 was made. So in the game after rook h8, white resigned over here, and as he sees that there is no way to continue the game. So what we did by this example, we covered two themes again. We saw how to play against the Greco gambit, and we also saw how to create attack against the castled king. Okay, so we use this pawn movement h6, g5, g4, which is called pawn storm. Of course, I will be doing these lectures, all these topics separately later on. Okay, I hope you are enjoying the lesson. Do like, subscribe and share. Thanks for your time.